What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're back for another YouTube video. Today's video is going to be a settings / monitor settings video. I don't do anything crazy, but I'm going to show you guys what I have on my settings and what I have on my monitor, because people ask me this all the time on my stream, and it's just better to make a video. So even when they ask me my stream, I can just link them the video. So I hope this helps. My settings are basically just to get as much FPS I can and make my game look good at the same time, so it's not like trash quality or anything like that, so I can actually see. So yeah, let's get right into it. I hope you guys enjoy the video. All right, so the first thing, keyboard and mouse. I don't play on keyboard and mouse, so I'm gonna leave that to the keyboard and mousers over there. Graphics, obviously have it on full screen. I do have a 240 hertz monitor, godlike. I can link the monitor in the description below if you guys would like. I do have gameplay VSync disabled. You always want that disabled, same as a menu VSync. NVIDIA Reflex low latency. So this setting actually came later into the game. This wasn't in the game at first. I think I had this disabled, but they added enable boosted, and my teammates told me to throw it on, and that was better. And I was like, all right. So I don't really know how much this helps, but I threw it on and it feels fine for me. Render resolution 100, always have that 100. 1920 by 1080, you know. Aspect ratio automatic. I play on 100 FOV, so this is all preference. I felt like 100 was a perfect balance. I know some people play on 110. I don't know how many pros play over 100 actually. Probably not many. I know most people are anywhere from 90 to 100. ADS field of view, another thing that's personal preference. I play on affected. I know a lot of ARs are switching to independent just because it's easier to, like, when you're in AR and you're trying to beam from long range, it zooms in. So like affected, when you aim in, it doesn't zoom your screen in. Independent, when you aim in, it zooms your screen in. So that's personal preference. I personally like affected. If you guys haven't tried affected, I suggest try it out, especially if you're a submachine gun player. I think it benefits. Frame rate limit, I play on unlimited. And texture quality, I have on medium. So I actually did have this on low, but I was like, let me bump this up to medium and see if it affects my FPS at all, and it really didn't affect anything. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna keep it medium, and I didn't really see the difference too much from medium to ultra. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep on medium. Model quality, I have on low. Like I said, all my settings are pretty much gonna be on low and medium. So if you guys want to go ahead and tweak your settings and put anything to higher, but I basically made this setup, these settings, to get as much FPS as I possibly can, because FPS is a huge thing, especially for competitive Call of Duty. Special effects quality, I have a medium. Screen space reflection disabled. Object view distance, medium. I did have this on low. I don't think for these maps for competitive, I don't think low and medium changes much. Maybe only on like Miami if you're going beach and trying to see across the map. But even then, I don't even think it changes much, but I just kept it on medium. Water tessellation disabled. Volumetric lighting low. Shadow quality low. Dynamic shadows I have on all. So I did have this off at first when I first picked up the game, when I was just putting everything to low and disabled. But dynamic shadows are actually huge because you can see the shadow of your opponent. If you're in a spot, like a huge one is in garrison in the vent. If you're playing in the vent, you can play an off angle and you can see their shadow before they even come around the corner, and you just know they're there. So that gives a lot of information. You definitely want to have this on all. Special effects shadow disabled. Weapon shadow disabled. Ray tracing shadow disabled. I have a lot of things disabled. So this is where it starts getting interesting, because I feel like a lot of people don't do this, and I messed around with this a little bit. I could be wrong, but NVIDIA DLSS, if I didn't have it disabled, my screen looks super blurry. So if your screen's looking blurry at all, maybe you're used to it by now, try turning this off. Just turn it off and let me know how it looks, because I know for a while Major Maniac and Attach didn't have this disabled, and I did, and I went over to Attach's apartment. I was like, yo, why does your screen look all blurry? And then later I realized that it's the DLSS. Like, I think he had it on performance. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had it on performance. And I told him, I was like, yo, disable it, might look better. He tried it. I think it looked weird for him at first, but I could be wrong, but I think he's still on disable. Same with Mike. Anti-aliasing quality disabled as well. Ambient occlusion quality disabled. Motion blur, make sure you have motion blur off. If you don't have motion blur off, I mean, bro, like, I guess it's more realistic, but like at the same time, bro, that shit's blurry, man. You know, motion blur quality low. Scattering disabled. Odor independent transparency disabled. VRAM usage target on 90%. So I did have this on default for a long time, and I was told to play on high. I was told to play it's better. I switched it. I didn't really notice like a huge difference, but I just kept it on because it wasn't throwing me off or anything, and I was told it was better. Display game, computer, display adapter, whatever. I don't think that really matters. And then I can move on to the audio. So For me, master volume and sound effect volume, I play on 80. You could bump that up to 100 if you want to, crank your volumes a little bit. But I also do have a mix amp, so I adjust my volumes through that. Music volume, I always have on 0. I dislike having volume in my, I dislike having music playing in the lobby. I don't know why. It's just annoying to me. Audio preset, I play on high boost. I know last year I think it was boost high. I think it was the opposite. But I've always played on boost high. So in this game, I just played on high boost. I did try out a few other ones and they just felt weird to me. I tried super bass boost. It was super bassy, but it was, I felt like I could hear footsteps better with the high boost. Mark sounds definitely on. My speaker headphones is right now it's on a 4K because I'm on a dual PC. So this just depends on whatever you're playing on. Voice chat enabled. All this is enabled, whatever. Interface. There's nothing too crazy on here. This is whatever you want to do. This is all preference. I have full name. I have everything default. I think the only thing I changed was FPS counter. I put it on shown so I can see my frames per second on the top left corner. You can see how many frames you're getting when you're playing in a game. Everything else I kept on default. And then controller. So for controller settings, this is what I'm playing on. Currently playing 6.6 sensitivity, ADS sense, both low and high zoom on 1. Button layout, I play on default, and I play on flipped, default flipped. So for claw, I know a lot of people play on tactical, which makes it a little bit easier, but I'm so used to default. I've always played default, so I've been just keeping it as that. So that, like I said, this is mainly just personal preference, whatever you want to do. I play on default flipped, invert disabled. I play on dynamic aim response curve type, and people are like, oh yeah, why the hell you play on dynamic, dude? Well, the thing is, last year we played on dynamic, or I played on dynamic. So I was like, you know what, going in this year, why would I not play on dynamic again? And also I've tried linear, I've tried standard again in this game. I tried it last year, and dynamic just feels the best to me. I don't know exactly, like the way it shows what each one does just makes no sense to me. Reverse S curve mapping for 5 aim rate control faster. I don't know what the hell that means. I'm just going off of what feels good for me. So I would do the same. Just try them all and just see what feels good for you. And dynamic is what I chose. Controller vibration disabled. There's probably a lot of you out there actually watching that have your controller vibration enabled. I suggest trying to turn that off and see how you like it. It's gonna be super weird at first, but it's actually godlike when you get used to it. It's actually amazing. I played with the vibration all the way up until Black Ops 3. And then when I got in the pro community a little bit, they're like, yo, you play with vibration? What the hell? Like, they thought I was crazy. I was like, really? Like, what? And I changed it, and I like it a lot. It does feel weird at first if you're used to controller vibration on. So maybe give it a try if you are on it. If you don't like it, then you can switch back. It's whatever. It's personal preference. I know Kenny plays on the vibration on. I don't know what other pros play with it on, but there's probably not many, to be honest. Target aim assist enabled. Target aim assist mode standard. I play on standard. I have tried, I think, was a legacy. I think people were telling me legacy is what yeah, it's the one for Warzone. So people are like, yo, you're god at Warzone, like maybe try that out. I tried it, didn't like it, switched back to standard. ADS aim assist enabled. Airborne Mantle behavior. So I did change this. A lot of people probably have theirs on automatic. I do like it on manual, on press. Don't do it on second press. It's just weird. It's just too weird on second press. So it's like this is like an in-between type of thing. So that's what I play on. You can try it out. Aim down side behavior, hold. I don't think these really matter. Stick layout, so I play on default. Stick minimum input threshold on my left stick I have as 2. So your threshold is like if your stick, it depends on how your sticks are, how your controller is, but basically if I had this on 0, my character would move for myself. So if your character is moving by yourself, you want to make it is like higher and higher until it stops, but you want to have it at the lowest threshold you possibly can. So I have mine on 2. The max threshold doesn't really matter. Right stick minimum input threshold, again, I have on 3. As soon as I went to 2, you could see a slight movement in my aim. So basically what you can do to test this out actually is just go into a game like a bot lobby. Actually, don't even put bots on. Just go into a custom game by yourself. Throw your sense to the max sense and put your right stick minimum threshold all the way down and just touch your stick, and it's gonna move. It's gonna move at 0. It does for everyone, for any controller you possibly can do. So then you move it up to 1, and then you touch your stick again, like in a direction. If it keeps moving, then you go up to 2, and so on. And once it stops moving, once you stop getting that movement in your stick, then that's when you need to stop. You want to have this at the lowest threshold you possibly can, and it gives you more room to move around, and it just feels more free. It's not sticky. So I'm on 2 and 3. That's going to depend on your controller. If you have a highly used controller, if you use a controller a lot, that's probably going to be a little bit higher. It's probably going to be around like 5, 6, maybe not 6, maybe 5. Auto move forward disabled, auto sprint disabled, sprint behavior toggled. Sprint cancels reload disabled. Parachute, that doesn't really matter. I have it on enabled though. Equipment behavior hold, interact / reload behavior, tap to reload. And that's really about it. I think actually account network. So I did change something in this. That was the server latency. So server latency I put on widget shown, and you can see that in the top left. This is basically your ping, so you can see how much ping you're getting, and ping's actually a huge thing, like connection wise. So I like to see what ping I'm playing on when I'm playing in tournaments or when I'm playing scrims or whatnot, because you know, you can just tell like, yo, I'm on 100 ping, like this shit's about to be horrible. Or if you're on like 10 ping, you're like, whoa, my bullets are about to be connecting like crazy. So I like to have FPS and server latency in the top, and I think that's really it. I don't change anything else. I know some people like to mess with their colorblind settings a little bit. I don't really mess with the colorblind modes, but it's actually cool. They did add a lot of different things you can do in here. So I mean, like if you want different colors, you can. I'm just so used to what I have as the default. But yeah, that's it for the settings video. If this did help, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. If you guys want me to go over anything else that I missed, let me know. But that is my settings, and I hope it helps you guys. Everyone have an amazing day, and we'll catch you later. Peace.